my queen's court. So I am back with another video. It has been a long time since I've had time to talk to you guys, but this is a very, very special video because I have a lot to catch y'all up on. So there has been a lot of stuff going on, and the main reason why I wanted to do this video is because I've been keeping a big secret from y'all, really from a lot of people. But today's video, we're gonna get into what the secret is. So let's see, do I want to make y'all wait a little longer and tell y'all the secret? I'm gonna tell y'all. So today we're gonna have like a little story time. I wanted to eat with y'all, but it's okay. I'm not gonna eat with y'all. I'm just gonna get right to it. I have been, first of all, before I get into the secret, I have been putting this off for so long. Like, for the first time in a long time, I've kind of enjoyed keeping this secret and just having something to myself and my immediate family. And by my immediate family, I mean my husband, kids, mom, and my sisters and brothers. And a few close relatives and friends know what's been going on. So I'll start by giving y'all some background to the secret. So 14 years ago, I had my last child, which is Chloe. And after I had her, she was baby number 3. Me and my husband decided that we were done. That we did not want to have any more children. Our baby making years were over. So I wanted something that was gonna make sure that could ensure me, because I know I was fertile. I wanted to get a procedure that would make me feel confident that I never had to have any more kids, because 3 was like my limit. Like, that was my end all be all number. So I got a tubaligation, and when I went to get this procedure, I had the choice where I could have did birth control. I could have done tubes where I got my tubes tied, but I heard stories about people who tubes came loose, so I chose to have them tied, clipped, and burnt, or fused together and portions cut out. You know, tubaligation is when you get portions cut out your tubes, and they fuse them together after they clip the portions out to make sure that you are fertile. This is a 99.9% rate. You know, nothing is really guaranteed, but you know, guarantee that you will never have another child. So did that 14 years ago, and we living life. We're doing everything y'all saw in the last video when I caught up with y'all. I was telling y'all about my son is about to go to college, Chloe's going to high school, Dea is going to be a junior, and things are going according to plan, right? So we go on our spring break family trip this past March 2022, and we went on a spring trip. It was my mom, my sisters, all my kids, my siblings, nieces, nephews. Very fun trip. Y'all know what happens when you're on vacation, especially when you're adults and you have your siblings with you. You drink, you have fun, you eat all kind of food. Mind you, before I went on this trip, I was on a journey of fitness. So I had not surprisingly because I worked hard for it, but I had lost 30 pounds. So when I went on this trip, this was my first time really just like letting my hair down and eating whatever I wanted to eat, right? So I ate my Mexican food. I ate, you know, whatever I wanted, drunk whatever I wanted. And when I came back home, I was like, okay, now it's time to get back to the gym. It's time to start working out. So I go to the gym. And the first day I went to the gym, I was real groggy. Like, I want to say vacation lasted about 4 days. I get to the gym, I'm really groggy. I'm barely able to run. Tried to get on the Stairmaster, which at that point I was doing 30 minutes a day, and I just couldn't do it. So I was like, why am I so groggy? Why am I so, like, you know, tired? Where's my energy? I was like, maybe it's because I drank liquor, and I haven't drank liquor in a few months. So I was like, I'll see if I can, you know, do what I need to do tomorrow. So the next day I go to the gym, I get on the treadmill. You know, I have my treadmill 30 minutes, then the Stairmaster. That was my first thing I would do when I go to the gym. Before I do weights, it was cardio. But when I got on the treadmill to run my 2 miles, No, to run my mile, it was just taking me too long. I was still sluggish. I still was groggy. I was still like out of breath, tired. I forced my way through it, got on the Stairmaster. I only lasted like 10 minutes. So I went home and I was like, I don't feel good. And mind you, I hadn't been feeling good since the last day of the trip, but I figured I had a hangover. Because hangovers make you feel queasy. It makes you feel like you gotta throw up. So I told my husband, I was like, I'm still not feeling good. Now there is a part of the story that I did forget to tell y'all. So before we went on the trip, no, I'll tell y'all later because that's gonna give it away. But anywho, so I told my husband I didn't feel good. He was like, he got suspicious. And I was like, why are you suspicious? He was like, well, you feel like you're kind of throwing up. You kind of look queasy, like that's not normal for you. Mind you, I have to tell you the part of the story because if I don't tell you, it's not going to make sense. So before the trip, my cycle was supposed to come, but it never really came. Like there was a little spotting, but nothing ever came. So I was like, well, maybe it's stress, maybe it's hormones. When you have a whole tubal ligation, 14 years later, you think of everything that it could be, right? But you just don't think it could be anything like related to a pregnancy or anything in that nature. So after a few days of me feeling bad, we got back, I think that Sunday, and by like I think Thursday I was still not feeling good. So against my wishes, my husband went and bought a pregnancy test because he was suspicious, especially after I asked him to bring me home some hot Cheetos and pickles, which is one of my favorite pregnancy snacks. Now he just was like, you need to take a pregnancy test. I was like, no. So he went to Target, got one anyway, against my wishes, and he was like, just take it. And I'm like, no, that's just like you taking a pregnancy test. Like, can you get pregnant? I can't get pregnant. I had a whole surgery. You were there when I had the surgery. So we're going back and forth. Finally, I'm like, whatever, I'll just take it just to shut you up. Me knowing that I'm going to be right and he's going to be wrong, I go take the pregnancy test, and lo and behold, I was pregnant. So I'm going to enter a picture of the pregnancy test here. So I'm sitting on the toilet as soon as I take the test, and you pee on the stick. Excuse me. And I sit it on the counter, and the first thing I see is the pregnant sign. It has a line. It has the not pregnant line, and it has, as y'all can see on the pregnancy test, it has not pregnant, and then it has pregnant. So the pregnant line showed first, and I'm like, oh my God. So I walked out of the restaurant. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And my husband was like, what? And I was like, I can't even do this. Like, this gotta be a joke. He was like, what? So he goes in, he looks at the test, and bam, I was pregnant. So that's that. Eventually, like initially when I found out, just to make this story as short as I can, because we're already 8 minutes in. When I first found out that I was pregnant, that was totally not, I wasn't even trying to take that seriously. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was shocked and I was bewildered, but I was like, this has got to be a hormonal imbalance. It has to be something going on. I must be stressed. Like, I have never in my life heard of it. My mom has had a tubal ligation. My grandmother has had a tubal ligation. I know people that had their tubes tied and has had success with their tubes tied and haven't gotten pregnant. So I was like, this has to be some type of mistake. I set an appointment the very next day to go to the doctor. And I asked them to do a blood test as well as a, traditional urine pregnancy test to see what was going on. I explained to the doctor that I had a tubaligation surgery. My tubes were tied, clipped, and burnt, and there was no way that I was supposed to have any kids. So I was just trying to understand what was going on with my body. They asked me when my last period was. I gave them the last date, which was sometime in February. We're now in the end of March, okay? So, I went to the doctor the next day. They did the pregnancy test by the time I got in the by the time, when I first got there, I went straight to lab. I did the blood work and I did the urine test. By the time the nurse came in to ask me the questions to, just get a little more backstory on what I was there for, the urine results had came in. So she was like, well, you are positive from your urine test, and the doctor will be in to talk to you shortly, and he will tell you what the next steps are. I'm still at this point like, whatever, yeah, you can have a false pregnancy test by your urine. That's nothing. What does blood work say? So the doctor comes in, he confirms that the pregnancy test was positive, and he's like, well, we ordered your blood work to come back stat, but it's not back yet. It probably won't be back till tomorrow. So this is Friday. The blood work was not going to be back to that next day. So he said, since you've had a tubal ligation, we need to make sure the baby is not in your tubes. If the baby is in your tubes, then you would have to be rushed to the hospital, and you would have to have the baby removed in order to keep, save your life or whatever. He said, so I want you to stay at home, and that way, because you're close to an emergency room, and I want you to stay at home and just wait for me to call you. If I don't call you today, I'll call you tomorrow. So I stayed at home. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm freaking out. I'm emotional. I'm thinking all kind of stuff, 37 years old at the time. I'm like, I don't want to have another baby. This is not in my plans. And so then the doctor calls me back the very next morning. He said, well, according to your blood work, you are pregnant, and according to your levels, you have a true uterine pregnancy. I just want to make sure that the baby, that is actually a baby and it's not something else like a tumor or something giving you a false pregnancy. So we're going to schedule you an ultrasound. We need to do an ultrasound first thing Monday morning. So I'm like, oh my God, a tumor. And so then that's when I start like going back and forth in my mind. Like, up until this point, I'm so adamant and headstrong that I'm not going to have a baby, saying what I am going to do, saying what I'm not going to do, and then I'm faced with this whole thing, baby, or something even more serious. So then that's when I begin to humble myself, and I'm like, okay, God, I'd rather deal with the baby than deal with the tumor or something like that. So whatever your will is, let it be done. So I go to the doctor that Monday morning, and they do a vaginal ultrasound to make sure everything is okay. As soon as the lady, she hadn't even done the vaginal first. She started with the ultrasound on my stomach. She said she would do that first, and then they would do vaginally just to check and make sure everything was okay. As soon as she put the ultrasound, the thing on my stomach, the gel and the little whatever it's called, all I hear is boom, 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 and I see this little blob on the screen and a heartbeat. Like, ma'am, is that what I think it is? And she's like, yes, congratulations, you're gonna be a mom. Mind you, this lady has no idea how old I am, my story, that I've had a tubaligation. We're at a whole different part of the hospital. I just bust out in tears. Like, I cried the entire ultrasound, like boo-hoo crying. Like, I was like a kid getting put in timeout. Like, I had my life planned. I'm ready to travel. My youngest has 4 more years of high school, then they'll be all at the house. I am almost to the finish line, and you mean to tell me you just hit reset for me? I was just totally floored. My husband was floored. I was floored. He had been joking around, saying that he thinks that might be what it is, but never in a million years did we think that we would be pregnant and having a baby, having a son going to college, and bringing a newborn into the world was just beyond me. So that's the big secret, that I am pregnant after having a whole tubaligation. Now, I'll talk all day, and I don't want to do that to y'all. So in order to make sure that I don't keep y'all too long, I did make some talking points. So there are a few things that I'm gonna tell y'all, because I know y'all probably got a lot of questions, and you probably wonder, what, girl, what? Yes, it happened to me. When there's a few things. So the first thing I already told y'all was how I found out. Y'all know that story. Second thing was how I told my husband. Well, we already covered that because he was there when I took the pregnancy test. He was just as shocked as me. We both knew it was God's will. You have to know it's God's will. We did everything that we could to prevent it, and it happened still. The third talking point was, how did I tell my children? This part is cloudy to me because I think at that point I was just like a zombie. Like, all I remember is telling my oldest, I told Kaylin that I was pregnant. I don't remember if I told them I was for sure pregnant. What did I tell them? I don't know. I'll just have them do a sit down with me and mukbang, and they'll tell y'all their reaction to it. But if I'm not mistaken, I told my son that I might be pregnant, and I was waiting to see what the doctor was going to say, or just to make sure that that was the case, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. But they were, their reaction was shocked. They were shocked. Once I told them for sure that I was pregnant, they were shocked. My baby girl, she was the most shocked, and she did not take it too good. She was not initially happy. She's used to being a baby, and this is putting an end to her little baby journey, I guess. But I had to tell her that she's gonna always be my baby. I mean, you've been a baby for 14 years. You can't get rid of that. So told the kids. They were shocked. They were supportive. My son was supportive. Daya was definitely supportive. She has been very supportive, and just generally excited to have a new baby and bring a new baby in the world. The next person I told was my mom. No, I think I told my sisters. I called them on three-way, and I had the pregnancy test, and I was just sitting there. I think this is before the doctor confirmed, and I was just like, oh my God, y'all are not gonna believe this. So I got them on conference, and I videoed them, and I just held up the pregnancy test, and they were like thinking that I was about to be a grandma, because that was more fitting. And then I had to break the news to them that no, it's actually me, the only sister out of 4 that got a Tubaligation. I'm the only sterile one, or supposed to be sterile one, and I'm the one pregnant. And they were just shocked and floored, and they were just empathizing with me and feeling bad for me, like, oh my God, how did this happen? Nobody knows. And then I told my mom, and my mom was really nonchalant about it. She was like, oh baby, well, where God put a piece of what she say? Well, God put a mouth, he'll put a piece of bread. And I was like, what? And I just bust out crying. And when I bust out crying, she knew I was serious, because at first she thought I was playing. And then that's when she started comforting me and telling me that it was going to be okay. And it was just a lot. But the first few people I told was family and friends. And I think I told between that time frame of Saturday, when I got the news that I was actually had a uterine pregnancy, and Monday when I found out that it wasn't a tumor, that it was actually a baby, because that was a stressful time. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to give birth. I didn't know what type of journey I was going to go on. I just didn't know. I was nervous. So once I confirmed that it was actually a baby in my uterus, everything was just crazy. Like, I went from 0 to 100 of just every scenario in my mind. Like, although I knew it was a blessing, I questioned why. I didn't understand it. Like, I just started a business. I just didn't understand it, you know. It was just so many thoughts. I started getting sad and depressed because I was so sick. I was throwing up every day. I was throwing up to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed. And because I was throwing up so much, I started getting dehydrated, and the dehydration was like draining all my energy. It was a mess. It was a lot. So what else I said I was going to tell y'all? The doctor, when I talked to my doctor at the doctor's appointment, I was like, how in the heck did this happen? Although this is not the doctor that did the Tubaligation, I have yet to address her yet, and that's neither here nor there. That'll happen later. But he was like, what is the whole purpose of life? What is the one thing that's constant in life? And I was like, change. The fact that it goes on. He was like, yeah, right. He said, by nature, your body is going to do whatever it can to make sure that life goes on. And that was his little, just nonchalant explanation. And I was like, okay, I see that we're not going to get anywhere here, so I'll save those questions for later. And I just left it at that. So that's what the doctor had to say. The second thing, this this is about the 6th or the 15th. So I'm gonna do the here and now. So here and now, I am 6.5 months pregnant. Yes, I have a belly and a baby bump. Nobody has saw it until this very moment. When I post this video, I will post my first maternity pictures online, because I have not shared it with the public yet, but now I'm sharing it, and I had to make sure I came and talked to my Queen's Court first. I'm 6.5 months, and yes, I did do a private gender reveal. I do know what I'm having. So we just had a gender reveal at home. I'm going to show y'all a little piece of the clip somewhere in here. So in this clip, it's gonna show everybody's reaction to the news. So today, we are doing an at-home gender reveal. It's time to find out what we're having. Is it a girl or is it a boy? I don't know what it is, y'all. I have no idea. What is it, David? It's a boy. Okay, I'm gonna put this right here. Get on the laptop, we're gonna open up the email. Somebody do me a favor. Come on, David, So the doctor has emailed us the gender of the baby. Hello, y'all. Hey, y'all, we finna, I gotta set up the camera. Oh. Okay, who we need to add? We need to add. Who need to add nobody else? Uh-oh. It's day in the back for me, y'all. Yeah, I added Kiera. Hold on, let me see Kayla's face. What Kayla did? Let me see. Oh, I know my kids. I know my vote. Good boy. Yeah. We want to know something online, man. Yes, put her on the pictures. I want to know. Hey, David. Hey, David. Hi. Hey, Jack. I know my vote. Hey, Erica. Hi. I'm about to cry. I love it. Okay, so we have the email up. Everybody be quiet so we can open it up and see. I said I'm gonna get this story right. 1, 2. What is David Cake smiling about? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I need the names. Oh my goodness, y'all. David, are you okay? David? Oh my God. It's a girl, y'all. It's a girl. Oh my goodness. Look at Kayla, y'all. He's the only one that's excited. Everybody else is going. You see everybody's reaction. Everybody I don't know how I felt. I was just like, oh my God. You know, my husband goes and locks himself in the restroom to get to deal with his emotions because he don't want to have to face my son who's going to say, I told you so. My son records this victory video talking about how he kept his head in the game, how he was so excited about things, which I think I might include a little clip of that just for y'all's enjoyment. And my daughter, my middle girl, was just like, oh my God, I wanted a boy, but oh well, it's a girl, I'm excited either way. And the baby ran off and locked herself in her room as well because she's devastated. Like, if y'all gonna have another baby, at least it could have been a boy. So that was that. But here we are, 6.5 months, and the baby is due in November the 12th. I will be keeping y'all posted. I will be doing way more videos because this journey has taught me to be patient. It's taught me to be humble. It's taught me that you can plan and plan and plan, but the best thing to do before you make decisions is to seek God. The reason why I had my tubes tied at 23 and a half years old, I was almost 24 when I had my tubes tied, was more of a about me's decision. You know, like, I mean, what woman don't make a decision about what they want in their body? Like, we don't seek God and be like, God, give us, you know, pray and ask him to tell us, or we should, but I didn't say, you know, well, God, speak to me and tell me what you would have me do. I was just, oh, I'm not having no more kids, I'm not doing this. And this whole journey has taught me to seek him in everything I do and humble myself and understand that he's in charge. He has the final say so. And if he says that it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And you know, when I first found out this news, I was really sad. I was devastated. I was depressed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm ready to travel and I have to start over. Oh my God, I'm gonna be 38, having a baby. What is that gonna be like? Just a million things. This world today, period. Like, with everything that's going on in the world today, just bringing a baby in the world is just a lot. With the school systems and stuff like that, and all the stuff going on, it's just a lot to think about. And imagine hitting restart when you are almost done raising your kids and you have plans to go travel and see the world and do things. But all in all, at this point, I'm at a place of peace. That's why I took my time announcing it. I took my time until I feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, I'm thankful for my baby girl. I'm so excited. We'll be talking about a lot more stuff. I'll keep y'all posted on the journey, the pregnancy, the delivery, the baby. We're going to go through all of this together because you never know what other mom might go through this that may need that extra push. Out of all the things I told y'all that we would talk about on this channel, this was not one of the things that I planned to be a part of the channel. But again, God is in control and he has the final say so. And so I will enter some pictures of my pregnancy. Also, I'll be doing some more videos on pregnancy fashion and how to stay fashionable while you're pregnant. I have been having fun doing that. And I will be back to talk to y'all. So y'all make sure y'all comment below, click subscribe, and don't forget to let me know what y'all think about this video. Like, let me know what your response, what your reaction is. What would you do if this was you in this situation? And guys, just keep me in prayer that everything goes smoothly and that I have a healthy and safe delivery. Until the next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all next time.